Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Hey everybody, welcome to Stupid O'Clock. We got Dan, John, and Joe with us.
And let's just switch it around to its proper position.
I don't like it up here in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Yeah.
I put
Well,
Joe
there's
Dog
only
in the
four of us,
corner.
so
I
we're
don't
all
care
in the
about baby. Baby's in the living room talking to a granddaughter, so deal with it. Spicy Daniel Spicy tonight. I'm feeling very relaxed. I've got to tell you that.
Oh, I'm sitting here trying to find some stuff.
Which is probably a good reason for the rest of us to kind of carry on.
Yeah, carry on.
Well, that was it last Saturday? I was going to talk about this, never got around to it. So talk about it tonight here. Let me see if I can find a good picture here. Okay. You bring it after you click, you just share screen, and click on one of them and bring it up. All right. You see, we have talked about this before. Whoop, there we go. All right. That's the Chickamauga Dam. And
That's
this
and that's the dam lock that
that's
they've
the
been
dam
working
lock.
on.
This is the old dam lock. This is the new one they've been working on for a while. Now, read my notes here. Okay. The dam was built back in January. They started construction January 13th, 1936. It took them 4 years and 2 days to complete the dam. Okay. The bridge was built sometime later. Now, here's what's funny. They figured they were going to need to replace that lock right around 2003. Back they did this thing, and the concrete's having problems.
Okay. Yeah.
Where the lime is leaching out of the concrete or something like that.
Okay.
It's mafia concrete. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they figured it was going to be unsafe for that lock to operate at all before 2023. They said by 2023 you shouldn't be operating this lock at all. So they started the project back in 2003. Okay. It was supposed to be finished in 2014. Okay. So it was literally going to take them almost 3 times longer to put in this lock than it did to build the entire dam originally.
That does not sound reasonable, but then again.
Exactly. Now,
When did they start construction?
on the lock,
Yeah,
2003.
20 years ago.
21 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, the original estimated cost was going to be $375 million, but somewhere down the line, a Democrat got elected to the White House, and the funding dried up.
No,
I was trying to say, somewhere around the line, the politician got involved and go, "Hey, I've got deep pockets. I can put money in those."
no, Zach resigned from the office, and Chuck Fleischman got in and didn't think it was a priority.
So they had, eventually they got another $52 million to continue the project, and then that figure has inflated since that time. Now, remember, originally 365 or 375 million. Okay, it originally got, and then it got inflated to 693 million. Okay. Now, right now they're looking at, they've already put 757 million into a project that was originally only going to be 375 million. So they've already gone over 400 million. By the time it is finished here in the next few years, they are estimating $954.4 million, almost $1 billion, on a project that, if they'd originally just put the money into it and completed it, would have only cost a third of that.
Yeah, that's what politicians getting aware of a project will do.
And cost plus contracts.
Yeah, I can see that.
And with most projects involving dams and canals and things of this nature, you know they're going to have to go back in and fix problems after.
Oh yeah.
Because
Well, I know somebody that is a supervisor on that project, Joe, how would you like to pull out 300 yards of concrete because there wasn't enough rebar in it?
That does not sound good.
Well, first off, I'd be kicking my inspector in the ass for not verifying the rebar was there before they started pouring.
Actually, as long as this project has been going on, when they first put the rebar in, there was probably enough rebar. Okay. By the time the project got to where it is now, there's probably a new standard for rebar that says, hey, you're going to need more rebar in this.
Well,
Well,
depending on, and I'm just basing this off of NDOT spec, whatever year, whatever spec you're going by when the contract is bid is what you go by for the life of that contract. So any contracts that got let that are let before September 1st of this year will still go by the 2022 spec. Anything after that will go off of the 2024 spec that takes effect September 1st. Now, like I said, that's the way NDOT does it. How whoever controls this does it may be different.
TDA.
TDA?
Yep.
Okay.
What is TDA?
Tennessee
Tennessee
Valley.
Valley Authority.
Oh, TVA. Okay.
That's not a bad thing, but it's
They are
not.
starting on the upriver side of it, though.
Yeah, like I said, TVA is not a bad thing. It's not necessarily a good thing either.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the only game in town. So these are the people you have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They've done
TVA
awesome things in the past. They have done really awesome things in the past. But, you know,
Well, for downtown Chattanooga, TVA has been a blessing because, the river in floods, paddle boats have come all the way up to the Reed House up Broad Street.
I'm just astonished. That's way uphill.
Yeah.
Well, sort of.
I mean, that'd be like somebody asking if they can park their yacht at the choo-choo, you know?
No, they were picking up passengers off the second floor of the Reed House.
Oh.
Water damage? No wonder they keep sending me emails wanting me to buy a room, and buy a room, and not book a room, but buy a room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when it's called the Great Flood of 1868, where Chattanooga was completely inundated. It started up in Knoxville. Knoxville says, telegraph down to the Chattanooga, head for high
It's on its
ground.
way.
Really, we're opening the damn dam.
No, there were no
There
dams.
were no dams. Yeah.
There was that much rain up in the Smoky Mountains.
It's hard to conceive of the Knoxville area without the TVA having dams there. I mean, seriously, when I was a child, they were everywhere.
See, what's
People's
interesting is
electricity came from there.
if you look on the map here, that used to be an island in the Tennessee River.
Not anymore.
Yeah, it got flooded in there. Let's see, where were the other ones?
Hey, there are lakes that TVA has created that I have been taking fishing by my dad back when I was a child. That used to be a town.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
That used to
somewhere
be a
in
town.
somewhere. Well, I don't know who the mayor is now, but the mayor next year is going to be a catfish.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
I'll be right back.
So I was trying to find the road that you could actually, in low water times, you could actually see the road that went out there. That
that looks like a part of a
Yeah.
road
I
right
believe
there.
this was it. Actually,
Yep.
it was right through here. But used to be. You can still see foundations out here too from stuff that used
Yeah,
to be out.
that was where the best fishing was near where the old house places were. I will learn to enunciate one day. It's not like I do this for a living. Thank you, Rob. Richie, excuse me. Wrong friend. Y'all just ignore me. I'll shut the fuck up and let y'all do things for a while.
No, you're doing fine. Keep going. Don't mind me.
Just say don't.
Forgiven value of fine.
Just say don't have me start talking. I'm used to having
Yeah.
Dawn run my shows.
Hey, Dawn said after her birthday party, her back was hurting. I'm going, yeah. He brought you that ice cream for a reason, didn't he? But we won't go there. Although I already did.
I didn't hear a thing.
Although the dog's ears did perk up in the middle of the night, and I'm going, Dawn must have squeed for some reason. Ultrasonic sounds. What you got there?
Haunted hilltop, haunted house.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard of this one.
Haunted hilltop. Okay.
I'll have to ask Joe about this one. He knows all them haunted people.
Well, yeah,
Look,
but
there's Joe. He's the one in the middle holding the bat. Okay.
and biting the head off a bat. Yeah.
Oh
No, there's Joe, somewhere in the corner, stuck in the spotlight, losing his religion. Why are you showing family reunion photographs? I didn't give her permission to go to that folder.
All right, let's see. There's our local nuclear plant. Let's see. Look, there's Homer Simpson.
I doubt it.
I don't. I know some of the
Hey.
people that work for TVA.
Is it bad that every time you guys say TVA, all I can think of is Loki and the Time Variance Authority?
Yeah, I know.
No, that's not bad at all. No. Same sort of bureaucracy, but a different direction. Yeah, I can see my house from up here too, Kerry.
All right, let's see. What's one of my
I can
favorite
see
locations?
several of my houses from up here.
Where'd it go? There it is.
Oh, here we go.
Bing, bing, bing,
Yeah,
bing, bing.
That's the other screen, so I can see what the hell's going on
Here we go.
still.
Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum.
Ooh.
Yeah. They got a
So now
lot.
we know where the train cars and the choo-choo went to.
Yes and no. Some of them are there. Some of them are going back. Some of them are being worked on here. They actually bring them out here and like redo the sides when they rust out. So,
Okay.
You know, I had no idea that those tracks were still functional, that they could transport stuff from
oh yeah.
the middle of the
Well,
hotel.
hang on a minute. Let me go downtown. Let me see here. Tracks. Oh, there we go. There's the Cargill.
That's it.
Finley Stadium. Broad Street.
Mm-hmm.
Market.
Market Street, yes.
Choo Choo.
There you go.
And you can see where they brought in some of the train cars back. Okay.
Okay, but not many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can see these have been refurbished. You can tell by looking at the roof on them.
Yeah. But
They
they
just
used to
moved.
have, what, 25 or 30?
Yeah, and they brought some. That's the old Concord. You can see where they're working on this section here.
Yeah.
That's what's left of Building 1, Building 2, and Building 3. That's the new building they put in.
Mm.
That's the other one, and the other one. What? That. But I was going to show you. Of course, you can see the railroad tracks here that still go over here to the. I want to call it the granary. I don't know if that's the right term for it.
I would
there's
just call it a depot of some kind.
Yeah.
But
there's the granary, and
pardon my looming face. I'm looking closer at the screen.
And of course, you can see these train tracks and such. But you can see
Yeah.
this is the spur line, several of them actually, that used to go into the Choo Choo.
Yeah.
Then they're both still active.
Really?
This one, not so much, but they still use it from time to time.
Is that the one the trolley goes on?
Used to.
Used to go on. Okay.
Because over here, that's the convention center there. It's now the Signal. But you can see where these tracks, I think, are no longer functioning. But this used to be, the trolley used to come all the way up to here.
Yeah, I remember that. They drop off people at the convention center and then go back and then
go
kind of
right
cruise around.
Right, and then they used to go right down the side of where's building? Right down the side of Building 1 here.
Yeah.
And this is where the trolley. There's the train.
Mhm.
Engine 29, and the trolley used to sit right here.
Oh,
That was funny because operations for the convention for Chattacon was that room right there. So you could literally walk out of operations and hit the trolley if it didn't hit you first.
yeah. For LibertyCon, that was one of the game rooms, wasn't it?
Yes.
I thought so.
Oh, they changed this.
That's a little taller than I remember it to be, but I never stayed in that particular building.
Would they put a moat around it?
No, that's Building 3.
Yeah, I never
that's
stayed in that building, but it looks taller in this photograph than I remember it to be. I know they didn't add more
5
floors
stories
to it. I never remembered that it was that big. I was either in Building 1 or Building 2. Never in Building 3. I do think they ruined it, taking out the old consuite room and filling in that pool in between building 1 and 2.
No,
Still.
that pool's still there. That's the pool.
It was being filled with concrete when we were there the last time. I mean, there was the indoor pool, but this was the outdoor pool that I'm talking about. Hey, if they put it back, that's great. That's great. But that was one of the best consuites I've ever seen anywhere.
Battle Academy. Why does that sound like something for Pokemon?
H.H. Battle. He was the guy that led integration in Chattanooga. Oh, I found a great infographic, Dan.
Okay.
About the Great Flood of Chattanooga.
Oh, yeah.
And something that you could understand. This is how high. All right, I'm going to move away from your picture for a minute, John.
Okay.
That's how high the water got.
Oof.
Yeah. This is why living on a boat is a good thing in Tennessee.
It can be.
Realize, Joe, that is probably 40 feet above river level now.
Wow.
So minus that 58 feet for the flood level, plus another 40 feet down to get to the actual river.
Yeah.
Where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, the river did not sign a contract.
And since TVA, the water has never got up to Riverfront Parkway.
Bring that up, Joe.
What?
The picture. Or did it not come up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, bring that. All right. That's the building Joe just showed you. Then they said the water got up in this area.
The water got up about halfway.
Now.
No, it got up almost to the glass.
Yeah, it was up in this area. What? We got a riverboat? I didn't know we had a riverboat.
Hey, you gotta park it somewhere.
That's the American Queen. Tell you how old that one is. If you look across, you should be seeing. Okay, well, I guess not.
What?
Delta Queen should have been just right there through the
bridge.
Yeah.
No, this is newer. What's the date on this picture? It's August of 2023 was when this picture was taken.
Okay. Yeah, it has to lower those smokestacks to go under the bridge.
Really?
You know, that's a very weird concept, but they do make them so you can crank them back and pop them back upright again.
Oh, those actually sink down into the boat.
Oh, really? That's even more complicated engineering than I thought.
Huh.
But when Delta Queen left Chattanooga, it used to be a little floating hotel. When it left Chattanooga, they opened the bridge to let it go through. It did. They
did not.
They didn't need to,
but they did it anyway.
But they did it anyway.
But it's not a drawbridge, is it?
Yeah,
this one is.
It is? Okay. I was not aware. Thank you. Now I know something new.
See those two concrete things on the end?
Those are the
Uh-huh.
counterweight.
Counterweight.
Counterweights. Yeah. Okay. Imagining that opening up on the morning rush hour, and you got to do a Blues Brothers to jump across in order to get to work on time.
It doesn't work that way.
No,
No, it doesn't work that way. I know it doesn't work that way. Hollywood never works that like reality
Well,
works.
those counterweights, I don't know if you can see the picture of the bridge there, but these counterweights, they're cut at an angle right there because when the bridge starts coming up, the counterweight sinks down to the roadway. You couldn't get to the bridge to jump it if you wanted to. So,
yeah, the drawbridge bridge they have in Michigan City, someone found out the hard way that
yeah,
when
you
the
don't want to
gates
park
come
underneath them
down.
concrete things either.
Well, ours doesn't have the counterweight, but they found out the hard way that
Dawn.
when the gate comes down and the bridge starts going up, you don't want to be on the wrong side of that gate.
I can't believe they don't have a picture of the bridges drawn up.
Give me just a second.
No, I mean,
Hang on.
usually they have that sort of stuff here.
It's covered with Shutterstock images, but there we go.
Oh. Well, that's not that far. The Dukes of Hazzard could have done it.
It's not up all the way.
Fully open.
Yeah.
Those
Okay.
concrete things go all the way to the bridge.
Yeah, they almost hit the road. There's only like a foot of clearance underneath those concrete blocks when they're.
There used to be a guy we worked with. We called him Animal. And honest to God, he looked like Animal. That's why
Okay.
he was he's been arrested many times for walking across the top of the Walnut Street Bridge.
Mhm.
You know, the walking bridge. One of his arrests was the bridge. They have to open that bridge every quarter just to make sure everything works. He hid in the counterweight. Once it was up, he crawled up all the way up to the top, stood up on the top, his hands up in the air.
That probably came in handy when the cops came and got him.
Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't the bright. Well, he was super smart. He just
Common sense was not his strong suit, shall we say.
he was adventurous.
Mm. We've got a very special kind of stupid in the South. It doesn't involve your IQ. It involves what you're willing to risk your life to show off doing. It's one of those things that's kind of a side category. Good night, Dawn.
Good night, Dawn. Joe or Dan or somebody, can you pull up my image real quick?
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
There you go.
So this was a bridge that I had helped out on. They were redoing it, and I do the density testing on the approaches. But this is in the harbor up by Lake Michigan on U.S. Highway 12. And this little box right here is an electrical box. They had to put anodes inside of the piers to help keep the water from corroding the concrete and the rebar inside.
Oh yeah, I've run into that with the canal boat videos from England. Yeah, that's a it's not a complex concept. It also shows up in electric water heaters. I do believe you have what they call a sacrificial anode that decays to keep the rest of the water heater from going, we'd really like to eat these ions right now. And
Yeah,
for
it's,
boats and apparently for bridges, the same concept seems to apply.
it wasn't complicated until the local power company got involved. They wouldn't turn on the power to it until the project was complete, but we needed the power on to make sure that the anodes were all working.
I
Delayed
take
the
it
project.
jumper cables were not applicable in this situation.
I think the contractor was getting ready to do that just so they could move forward because it delayed the project, I think, by about a month and a half, 2 months.
Mm.
Electric company says we can't turn the power on till everything's signed, till it's signed off safe to use the anodes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't find out if the anodes are safe to use unless we turn the power on. Is that pretty much it?
For the most part, yeah.
Government.
And nobody was willing to take the shot for it.
Can't live with it, can't live without it.
Good old Northern Indiana Public Service Company,
Yes.
NIPSCO.
Oh, and Trey thought that you were going to tell the story about the guy that was living in the bridge.
Oh, which fucking bridge, dear? You're gonna have to be more specific.
Probably that one.
I think
Could
she
be.
had a. I think she had a project where a guy was living under the bridge. I can't remember which one it was though. I don't think I've had a project like that.
The
I know-
drawbridge, she says.
The drawbridge. Oh, that one. Yeah.
The penny dropped.
So we have NDOT has 2 drawbridges that they take care of. No, it wasn't Mike that had that project. It was because Mike was already with RQAW. This project happened actually the year after I left NDOT. They were redoing the drawbridge and found a guy living underneath it. I hated when I was in maintenance going to that drawbridge because it'd get stuck, and it'd be because it was low on hydraulic fluid.
Yeah, I
And you'd
can
have to take
understand that.
5-gallon pails of hydraulic fluid down to try and fill the thing back up with. And of course, it's at such an angle and it's such a tight space, you can't even put a funnel in to try and dump it in. You gotta try and go low and slow by hand, which doesn't work very well after dragging that down all those stairs.
I do believe I can understand that quite well as a former farmer. Hydraulic fluid is not one of those things that's really easy to work with, and it's a whole lot heavier than you think it is.
Well, what's really fun is when you're plowing snow and the hydraulic hose on your plow bursts.
Now that is, well, I mean, you can see purple snow everywhere, but
That's
it's
all you can see.
It's definitely an inconvenience. And God help you if you go and try and grab this thing and plug it back up if it just popped off the fitting.
Mhm.
Because that stuff has got some pressure. All right. Gonna go to the kitchen and get me something to snack on. I will be right back.
And Joe, that bridge in Chattanooga, the drawbridge,
Mhm.
it opens and closes with a 12-horse Briggs.
That's damn. Let
It's that well balanced.
me see if I can find. Oops. Scroll the correct way, Joe. It'll help. Let's see. Indy Boulevard, where are you at? There you are. Is that the drawbridge? Yep, that's drawbridge because there's Riley Road.
I was reading something earlier today about they've redone the ballistics on the asteroid Apophis, which might actually be a small planetoid. But it is actually going to be a lot closer to Earth than they originally thought the next time it passes. I think it's the next time it passes. Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, this is the drawbridge on Indianapolis Boulevard, US Highway 12 and 20. And there was a guy living up somewhere underneath here on one of the two sides. And then you have the control room here, which, far. Try that again.
What are those artifacts floating? Is that clouds?
I think I know what you're talking about here. Hold on. Let me zoom. No, don't go to Street View. Out. That right there?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's smoke.
Huh. Okay.
Because I got the 3D part turned on. I think if I turn that off, it'll probably go away. Yeah.
You were talking about the guy living under the bridge. Did you hear about the guy that got caught living in a mall?
I think I have heard about that one, actually.
He built an apartment inside the mall.
Mm-hmm.
There was some weird corner that, you had to sort of squeeze. There was like this much gap.
Mm-hmm.
Squeeze in. And if you squeezed in and went down this long hallway, and then it would turn into this big room. And he built him an apartment and was living in the mall for like 3 years before they caught him.
I do remember hearing about that.
They don't know how he got the couch in there. They don't know how he got the bed in there. They don't know how he got the TV, because at the time, TVs were CRTs.
Mm-hmm.
He had it all set up.
Yeah, this you'd have to go in through this little side door here, then go down all these little bitty steps to get down into here. Somewhere down in here was the engine room.
Yeah.
I hated that bridge. Hated it with passion.
Still do.
Mm-hmm. Then coming down here, because I actually, right before I left INDOT, I repaved this section of road here. And there is a railroad track. That's right here. Yeah, you can see the track right there. So you have right over here, and you can see it sticking out of the ground there, this lovely little railroad track that runs underneath the road. See it come out right there. When we mill that, we can't just run the milling machine through because they never took the track out from under the asphalt.
Oh.
Oh.
And I asked the area engineer, I said, when we come through, can we just rip it out? That way it's good to go for future projects. She goes, no, technically we can't. That's railroad property. And if they decide they want to start using that track again, that has to remain there. I said, they're going to end up replacing the whole damn thing anyway. It comes through here, ends up in this berm, and goes under asphalt over here.
Oh,
They
yeah.
ain't going to use this line. They're going to have to replace the rail anyway. No, we can't touch it. It's not ours.
Bureaucrats.
We run
And that-
into a problem here in Chattanooga. And there's
Well, that-
nothing like finding a trolley car line with a milling machine.
Oh, they did that on Broadway. They did that on Broadway in Gary. They thought it was they were paving Broadway, which is State Road 53, through Gary, Indiana, and from what they were told, it was supposed to be on the southbound inside lane. So when they went through on the southbound side, they went real slow, all the way through the area it should be, and never found anything. All right, cool. They get over to the outside lane, just go through at normal speed. All of a sudden, that machine comes to a jerking halt, and there's metal teeth all across the ground.
I have seen a Road Tech RX-25 jump about 6 inches off the ground. We were cutting about 4 inches deep
Mm-hmm.
when we hit it,
That's what they were doing.
and launched it backwards too.
They were 4 inches deep, and they had, I think there was like 30 feet of old trolley rail that was still there, that for some reason had never been taken out. They quickly called the mayor of Gary and said, "Hey, do you guys ever intend on putting this back in?" He goes, "Hell no." They go, "So we can rip this out?" "Sure." "All right."
Did my microphone ever come back on?
Yeah, you're on.
Would you say,
Okay.
Dan?
I went to the kitchen to get a snack, and when I came back, I had walked out of range of the headset, so we're good. We're good. There's a road that is going to be closed to be repaved. That is close to the place where I used to work, and I am hoping that they will rip the last 20 feet of railroad track out of there, because they've already taken up all the railroad ties and all the rest of the track on this little spur line. But it has been a traffic impediment for 5 generations now. I mean, seriously. Back during the Civil War, this thing was still a roadblock, and it's no longer being used. They've already ripped up the rest of the spur, so they've only got like 20 feet of track that go directly under the road, and it's as you go across it in a car, unless you're like me and you slow down for it, because I know it's been there for longer than I've been alive.
Now, actually, here's something for you guys, too. So this was the Klein Avenue Bridge. This bridge, I think, fell back in the 80s? 80s or 90s? They were redoing it, and during the reconstruction, it just fell in. And a couple of the cities got together and rebuilt it as a toll bridge. But you can still see they turned it into a 2-lane bridge, 1 lane each direction, compared to the 4-lane that it was, because there's the other approach that never got ripped out. They just tied into this one, and brought her around, and there's the other side that never got ripped out. And then if you don't want to pay for the toll, you can just jump on Riley Road here and come up and bypass the toll booth. You can't get back off on Riley, but the issue with Riley Road is, let's see, there's Dickey, which that's another drawbridge I think NDOT maintained at one time. But this lovely little bridge right here, well, that's same. Actually, it's the same road that I was just showing you the toll bridge on. There's a train that likes to stop on this set of tracks damn near every day. And it's not, oh, it's there for a few minutes, it's there for 20 minutes. I have gone an entire plow shift, 12-hour plow shift of that train, same train, blocking the tracks. Now, 912 is a state road. We maintain it up to the toll bridge. The toll bridge will not allow NDOT vehicles across it without paying the charge. So for us to be able to get to the north end here, we have to cross those tracks, wind around down Dickey Road, down Riley here, to be able to come up to the north end to plow a couple miles of road that sees maybe 200 vehicles a day. And that's 200 vehicles now compared to the probably like 15 that it saw before that toll bridge went back in. Because once you pass
bureaucracy wonderful,
right? Well, once you pass Calumet Avenue here, it turns into the actual toll road and connects into 8090.
Yeah, they're talking about a toll bridge here in town. John, have you heard about it from Birchwood Pike over to Sequoia Access?
No.
It's desperately needed.
A toll bridge is desperately needed?
Well, a bridge, but they're thinking about making a toll bridge, and that's the holdup.
It usually is when there's a toll bridge involved.
Do what?
It usually is when there's a toll bridge involved.
Mm-hmm.
The representative for Saudi Daisy's going, no. The representative over on Birchwood Pike's going, yeah, we need it.
Wow, that's a shift. All right, so this last little image here of Street View, October of 2021. I move forward a little bit. July 2007.
Ugh.
Well, they finally got the barrels out of the way.
And back in 07, this roadway, this concrete all looked pretty good still.
It's them northern winters.
Well, the funny thing is, I found the, so back in the day, they used to actually, when they were doing concrete paving like this, they had little stamps that some poor inspector would have to follow the paving crew. And every 50 feet, he'd have to put a stamp of whatever that station marker was. And then every so often, it might have been once a day, I think, they had to stamp the date This concrete was from the 80s, early 80s, if I remember correctly.
And it's taken a beating.
Oh, it's taken one hell of a beating. But if you look, I mean, like I said, this was 2021. Get it to go back here. Here's 2007. That concrete looks pretty damn good still.
Yeah.
So there's some good hard freezes and stuff that must have really screwed this road up, because after that bridge collapsed, there was hardly any traffic on this. This was the road that if we could get up here, if that train wasn't blocking the tracks, if we got called out for maintenance and they're saying, oh, there's a snowstorm coming in, go and patrol and this and that, if you came up on the north end of Klein Avenue, you'd see 5 plow trucks all sitting off on the shoulder of the road waiting for the storm to come in. And I was one of them, because back then I plowed Calumet Avenue. So I just got off the ramp and went straight out to my route.
They tried that here when we were supposed to be having storms coming. And as long as we were stayed in what we called the yards,
Mhm.
we were on the clock. They got tired of paying us to sleep in the trucks. Because that's all we would do.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're sitting there and it's not snowing, it's not raining, and it's midnight, what would you do?
Oh, yeah, I'd be sound asleep.
Mm.
And actually, I'm willing to bet I know what really screwed this road up between 07 and 2021. Because it was so hard for us to get up there to actually clear the snow and ice off, and the few drivers that did still take it religiously, they'd come up off Riley Road. You get that hard packed snow that would turn into ice, and the plows couldn't get it off. So they'd have to take what they called a hot load out to get it to melt enough to break up.
Mm-hmm.
And that hot load is hard on our trucks, let alone the actual roadway.
Mm. I bet.
And then the water seeps down between the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And once it starts breaking up, it's, you're going to have to go sections at a time to get it.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was the project I was on this past year. We actually ripped up that concrete and put in all asphalt.
It's easier to
And
maintain.
oh yeah. And the funny thing is, like, the subgrade underneath was still solid. You okay, Joe Dog?
Yeah, I got to go pee.
Oh.
Okay. And hello, Adam. No. It wasn't Donna's birthday yesterday. It was Dawn's birthday yesterday.
Yep.
And she's already gone to bed, so you can go ahead and put it in the comments, but she won't see it until tomorrow. It's okay. Don't worry. Oh, my bad. No. It's all right. We all make mistakes. They're both beautiful women. I mean, seriously, it would be easy to get them confused if they didn't wear different perfume. Oh.
And yes, Yes, Nick, I know, not the green room. Talking about hot loads.
Um,
I've got to go out. I have not. There's an observatory here in Chattanooga. It's out on Brainerd Road, and I have not been there since I was a little kid in elementary school. And it keeps changing hands. It's owned by the local city college, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. But it's I can't imagine it's that good an observatory because of where it's at. It's like surrounded by city lights. So
yeah. There's an observatory on the University of Georgia campus, which I can't imagine gets much use for exactly the same reason.
Mhm. Hoping we get a project here soon because I'm going stir crazy sitting at the house every day.
More time for wood burning.
True. Oh, I'd also like to get some overtime again. I miss seeing those paychecks.
Mm-hmm.
And the 80-hour paychecks are still nice, but I miss the 110, 120s I was getting.
Let there be light.
I missed the paychecks I was getting towards the end of my time at the factory, where they gave me someone to be a helper, not necessarily a trainee for when I left, but they accidentally wrote up the job description for him to be 10-hour days, 5 days a week. And then they looked at me and I'm going, I'm only working 8-hour days, 5 days a week. And I go, ooh, in order to keep the union from filing a grievance on this, we're going to offer you 2 hours of overtime every day that you normally work. Naturally, you can clock out when you want to, but if you do work 10 hours a day, you'll get a 10-hour-a-day paycheck. And I milked that sucker for all it was worth.
Oh, yeah.
And it pays off on the pension, don't it?
It certainly did. I mean, not even the pension. That eliminated my credit card debt in less than 90 days. So
I didn't mind working overtime. It was those 40 hours beforehand that pissed me off.
Right? Yeah, why do I gotta do the 41st? Just start me at time and a half.
You really? I mean, seriously, you're paying me for doing crossword puzzles anyway. That was what my mom said about 2 years before she retired from the savings and loan company. The housing market had collapsed, so she wasn't actually having to approve that many housing loans. So they paid her to come in and sit and do crossword puzzles from the daily paper all day long. And she milked that for as long as she could stand it. And then said, this is getting too boring. I can go can tomatoes or something and keep my interest peaked
Mhm.
and retired. Um, seriously, Dad always had a way of planting about 20 times as much garden as 5 people could have eaten in a year. They always wound up giving away stuff to all their friends and people they work with just to keep it from going bad and having to throw it away.
Mhm.
Oh,
You missed.
I did. Mm.
Well, gentlemen, I think I'm actually going to take off because I'm starting to fade. I didn't sleep for crap last night. No clue why, other than probably the
Um,
changing of the seasons coming up. But
and Joe Dog, you might want to send Cap a link there.
I sent Cap a link earlier today.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I did not know.
yeah, you were on top of it today, Joe Dog. Got
Yeah.
the links out at 11 a.m.
Yeah. I just saw something in my feed, Dan. It's very interesting. The choo-choo's been sold.
To whom?
Preserve Chattanooga.
As a historical site.
Yeah. I just posted the link to Stupid O'Clock.
It's only a decade too late, but good luck to you. They've already thrown out all the interesting shops and done away with all the hotel rooms to turn them into apartments.
Oh. See, this is what happens when we let them get rid of Radio Shack.
All downhill from there.
It's all downhill from there.
All right, you gentlemen have a great evening. I'll see you all tomorrow or Saturday night.
No, it's been sold to North Pond Partners LLC. Preserve Chattanooga was the one that owned it.
I'm getting confused.
So am I. So I'm just going to back out. See you.
Good night, Joe.
A Chicago-based company.
Figures, Yankees.
I put a link over in Stupid O'Clock.
Oh, I see that.
Not saying what the plans are for it, but something's up.
Well, if it works, fine. I mean, I don't know of any reason that we would go back there because, I mean, seriously, they've got what, 3 hotel rooms now? Maybe 5.
Yeah, they're wanting that, now that they're at the trade center and they're locked into the trade center for a while. John, I'm liking your idea of buying the old Cabela's,
Yes.
building a hotel around it and making that a convention center.
Yeah.
With fish.
With fishing.
With fish.
Now, it would be a convention center managed by convention goers.
You know, that would be a great idea, except I can't imagine any bureaucrat allowing it to happen. There's no way to steal money from it.
Well, the thing is, we're far enough from Atlanta that they don't like to drive all the way up here to try and steal money.
You're never far enough away from Atlanta.
That's what I like about the HallowCon Hotel. It's far enough out of Atlanta. It's people from Atlanta will drive to Dalton for a show. People from Chattanooga will drive to Dalton. But the Atlanta people won't come to Chattanooga, and Chattanooga people know better than to go to Atlanta.
Mm. Well, you know, folks miss out on a lot of things because they're not willing to get outside their comfort zone. I mean, seriously. When I come to Chattanooga or I come to Dalton, I don't drive through Atlanta. I take the back roads. Might take me 30 minutes longer, but I don't have to face the living death trap that is 285. Otherwise known as the Watermelon 500 or the next filming location for Death Race 2000. Yeah, if they'd let me mount rocket launchers and machine guns on the van, I could see driving through Atlanta, but I would be leaving carnage in my wake.
I'm nervous as a long-tailed cat when I drive through Atlanta.
I don't blame you. Even the people that live there can't drive worth a hill of beans.
I mean, there's nothing like having a $150,000 Lamborghini slide across the nose of your car and keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, without a turn signal. Into the next on-ramp, off-ramp, excuse me.
And look at you like you're the reason they're late.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my favorite things about Atlanta is somebody asks you for direction, you tell them, "Oh, it's over on Peachtree."
How many roads named Peachtree are there in Atlanta, John? I'm sure you're going to Google this.
I don't think the city of Atlanta knows how many roads named Peachtree they have in Atlanta.
I don't think Google knows how many streets named Peachtree there are in Atlanta.
How many
Lucy,
roads are
go.
named?
Well, Cap, it's not exactly munchies. My wife made me some fresh guacamole, and it's all natural. There are no preservatives. It's not store-bought stuff. She made it herself. So if I don't eat it, it's going to go bad.
Okay.
So
according to Google, our hotspot actually, there are 71 streets in Atlanta with the name Peachtree in them.
There's nothing more exciting trying to convince a cat to do something it don't want to do.
get out of the way, cat. I want to go through this door.
Now, she was raiding my bookshelf back there.
I saw that.
Looking for a good book to read?
So the worst thing about Atlanta's city planner, no, It doesn't have one.
Atlanta has never had a city planner. I mean, seriously. Um,
The city's growing so fast that when they start a road project, it's outdated before they finish.
it's
Nowadays, that's
outdated
true
before
of
they
most.
actually get there. Um, the ink is not dry on the blueprints before it's outdated.
Carl says he was never scared of Atlanta until you guys started talking about it.
Hmm. I've always said one thing that Atlanta needs. You know how 285 is the inner perimeter loop?
Yeah.
They need an outer perimeter loop for people that want to avoid going on 285.
Isn't that 575?
Could be. I generally use 20 because that's closer to me. Um, just go up to Banks Crossing, get on 85 South. Couple of miles later, get on 20, go through all the little bitty tiny towns. I don't care if it's a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. I will pay that price to be safe. I will drive 45 miles an hour through those little towns in order to keep from uh, being involved in a 72 car pileup on 285. The only place you see more wrecks than you do on 285 is probably a NASCAR event.
No, I don't even see 575 listed. Dan, you just live on the wrong side of Atlanta's the problem.
I live out in the middle of nowhere where I'm comfortable. My closest neighbors are cows and sheep and geese and
Hey,
nudists,
Mac.
and I'm fine with that. Hello, Zach. No, Zach. This is the state of the onion. Um,
I'm trying to figure out where do you go up through Canton?
yeah,
Okay.
basically, get off onto 20 and follow it till it goes all the way around to 75 north again, and then proceed with caution because it's still like almost Atlanta, but it's almost Chattanooga at the same time.
Oh, okay. 575 goes up to North Carolina.
Hmm. That's why we don't take that wrong direction.
Yeah.
Um, oh,
Yeah, they do need another perimeter.
they do, and it seems like there's always been rumors that they were going to do something like that, but it's never been quote unquote cost effective, which means the politicians in charge have not figured out how to steal enough money from the project yet. And yes, I do have a very jaundiced view of politicians. Thank you for noticing my loyal fans. Um, Seriously, if it weren't for politicians, we'd probably have a whole lot more things now than we do. But then
I'm
again, there are always a few exceptions that prove the rule. And
Well, from what I'm seeing, if you tried to do that, there is a lot of environmentalists that would throw a damn fit.
I think Douglas Adams had a solution to that particular problem.
And there's Thesis.
Hey, Thesis. Yeah, Utah has one of the deadliest highways in the entire U.S. That's because there's no gas stations or anything on it. It just leads off into the twilight zone somewhere, and you're never seen again. I've been to New Mexico. I've heard about Utah. No, I ain't going there.
Who is Beige Alexandria?
Huh? What?
BLEGALX Alexandre. I was just looking at the chat. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who it is either. I don't see that in the chat.
In the link chat. I'm removing them because I don't know who that is.
I don't even have that open. I can't look at that before you can remove them.
Got Thesis in there. And we got Zach in there. So, okay.
Okay. Well,
and I've tried to add Cat, but he just won't accept it. Oh, he says he's hop on, but he's watching his little cousin at her cheer competition. Okay.
That's great. That's great. Wish her luck. Or why did I think it was automatically she? Oh, her cheer club. Okay, I see where I got the pronoun from now. Sorry. Sometimes I have to stop and check my mental processes. Like that's gonna happen. Can be entertaining, especially when I figure out I still do have mental processes. Yeah, I know. I can hear that. I can hear Joe Dog's thoughts going, well, we knew you were mental all along. That's why we put up with you, but
I'm just trying to find something to talk about.
well, has Zach got any new rocket launches that we should know about? Or
Well, Starship launches next Thursday.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Third time's a charm. Or third time's a bomb. We're not sure which yet.
I would love for that to work. I would really love for that to work. And then we can move on to another project that will benefit even more. I mean, building a brand new space station that doesn't have to be deorbited in a couple of years.
Actually, they say the cargo section of a Starship has more space than the space station does now, cubic foot wise.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I mean, Von Braun and Company thought the best way to build a space station was to launch a lot of rockets with not expendable but reusable third stages and link them up together into a big disk and spin that and have a docking station in the middle, which would, kind of be disorienting to try and dock at, but it's a whole lot better than having the entire station in 0G. So you could have different gravities on different floors depending on how far away from the center of rotation was. I mean, so centrifugal force is a thing. Obviously, the bigger a space station you build, the slower it has to rotate to get a one gravity simulation from the spin. But then people have been using this in science fiction stories since the 20s. You'd think somebody would catch on by now.
Yeah.
I recognize the fact it's not cheap. And I recognize the fact that nobody's going to do something like that without the expectation of being able to make a bunch of money off of it. But still, the physics has been done. All we got to do is get the parts up there. Thesis. That's Thursday afternoon on 285. I mean, seriously. Any random day. And I'll tell you this, Atlanta does not have the worst traffic I have ever driven through. Knoxville, after the highways changed for the World's Fair that they had there, much worse than Atlanta. The Washington Beltway, it's nice and wide, but unless you're going through there during a blizzard, it's extraordinarily frightening for somebody that's never driven it before. The bridge that dives underwater into a tunnel going into Hampton, Virginia is extraordinarily frightening, although it's usually quite safe.
Did you guys see where I posted the pictures and videos of the USS Texas is out of dry dock? They got her floating again, and they've moved her over to Pier 5, and they're gonna do the repair work on the superstructure and some of the interior stuff, and then they're gonna move her over to another pier later to do some more work on it. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Nashville, yeah. I've only been a passenger driving through Nashville. I would not know how it is to drive through there.
I was driving back to Chattanooga one weekend from Fort Knox when I was stationed up there. And my Ford, middle of 4th of July weekend, hot as hell. My car didn't have air conditioning, had the windows rolled down. Got to Nashville right around 5 o'clock on a Friday. Got stuck in traffic next to a truck carrying beehives.
I bet you rolled your windows up, didn't you?
It was an oven, yeah. That was a bad day.
Yeah, that would
Better safe than comfortable.
Well, after about 30 minutes of that, a bee sting actually started looking pretty good.
Mm. Yeah, Carl.
They used to have this song, and it's kind of funny. The local radio station used to
I,
play
I
this.
think I think I've been through that tunnel on my motorcycle once. Um, that weren't mine.
No, that was me. Oh, your show starts in 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was time for Donna to come in with a frying pan. Mm. You should have it scheduled by now. I mean, you should be used to the threat.
Uh,
30 minutes? Gee, the time flies. Okay. Well,
yeah, it's been crazy.
it has. I mean, we've covered a lot of subjects. I'm starting to say suspects, but no. My wife is watching the police shows in the next room. It just, it is kind of like being at a convention. You really don't realize how much time has passed until the sun starts coming up and you're still trying to carry on conversations. And you haven't slept yet, except for brief moments in the hotel lobby. Even though you've got a perfectly good room, which fits the premise of the show quite well.
Oh, yes.
I think that I have just gotten to the age where I really do not like to drive through large cities. And some of the small ones are pretty crap too. But I don't know if it's I do want to live forever or just I'm tired of the baloney. But somewhere in there is some small measure of truth, maybe a dram or two, but as fun as it can be to go to an event in a large city, having to put up with the necessary traffic to get to the event is sometimes counterproductive, if I'm making sense still. I think I'm enunciating clearly. Whether or not I'm ideating clearly, I do not know. That sounded like something Nick would say. And he doesn't have the excuse of going, oh God, my wife found out I bought her a car. Give me a beer. Starting at noon today.
Yeah, that one got away from you, didn't it?
It happened before I woke up today. She was vacuuming. She was vacuuming hallway down into my office. She got in here, had to turn the vacuum cleaner off to relocate, to plug it into a different outlet that had greater reach. And while she was standing here, my phone pinged. And she knows that I do not have a password on my phone, so you just double tap the screen and whatever. And she's going, "Oh no, another spam caller trying to get us to do this thing and go to this website." Well, when I got home from going and getting her a battery for the Buick, um, she confronted me with this spam call after I'd already gone through all of the webpage stuff to actually not only reserve the car, but pretty much pay for it entirely. And she goes, "Hey, what was this message about? Your car is ready at CarMax." And I go, "You know, I'm too adult to lie to my wife. Wanted it to be a surprise, but no, I'm not going to screw this up. I bought you a Toyota."
Oh
Her
boy.
eyes got her eyes got wide as saucers because she loved that old Toyota that got destroyed in the car wreck that gave her PTSD, so that she can only drive within about 7 miles of the house now, and can't drive like she used to all the way through Athens and not be the least bit intimidated. Um, oh, Carl, I didn't leave my phone behind. I was in bed. I'm not taking the phone to bed with me. That would look really strange. Uh, I don't need to stay so well connected to the rest of the world that I've got to sleep with my phone. I find a cat and a dog and my wife to be quite comfortable enough to sleep with without the phone. Seriously. Anyway, once the jig was up, I just confessed all the way through, and sure enough, first words out of her mouth was, "I wanted the floor fixed and I wanted my new kitchen first." I'm going, "I knew that would be what you said first thing." And Tony, you owe me $50. Um, and then basically I go, "I've been hearing you complain about that Buick since the third day we had it, the first day we had to jump it off for you to be able to drive it. It's been almost 10 years now. I'm tired of hearing about how much of a pain in the ass that Buick is. We're going to park it. We're going to find somebody to take it off our hands." I can't think of anybody I hate that much yet, but I'm I'll go back through the files and see if I can find somebody on the list. That maybe uh, my middle or my youngest grandson for my oldest daughter, um, Jonathan. He's a mechanic. He might be able to deal with this mechanically sound but aggravating piece of junk. Uh, there's a parasitic drain on the electrical system. If you don't drive it every day, you have to jump it off. Them's the rules. I didn't make them up. I didn't sign off on them. I didn't agree to it. That was not in the contract when we bought the car. Put the key in it, crank it up, go. That was in the contract. Contract was not fulfilled.
Oh yeah.
Am I talking too much or what?
No.
We,
I'm just working on something. I'm trying to get something ready for something else, and just got to make everything right. And that's
Oh, thank you, Carl. We miss Mike too.
Mike. Who?
Um, you really know already. It's not triggering any bells at the moment. The fellow whose wife
Oh,
died in a tragic accident.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, really nice guy. Uh, I don't know how he's. Well, I mean, I've been in those shoes before, but um, he's just dealing with it a whole lot better than I could have. So
Oh, yeah. I understand that.
my hat's off to him. Dude's got the strength of Atlas. Uh, oh, okay. Evidently, I may be remembering the wrong person. Yes, yes. Oh, Donna. Yeah, yeah. I'm. Believe me, I couldn't have dealt with it, and I would never have been able to deal with it. I'd still be curled into an autistic ball somewhere if I had to face that again. No, no. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. I've got Lindsay. Uh, I've been highly blessed. Um, no matter all the shit that I've been through in my life, uh, I still I'm coming out ahead because this is just going beyond anything I ever expected to last this long. Chris, Atlas the Titan. Uh, somebody else talk. I'm tired of being the supervillain monologuing here.
Well, I don't know what to talk about. Oh,
That's never stopped you before.
yeah, well. I know it sucks that, she found out about the car.
Yeah,
Were you
but
planning on pulling it in the driveway with a big bow on it?
I was planning on asking the delivery truck to drop it off and then put a bow on one of the windshield wipers, but that's not going to happen now. Um, she thought that was a cute idea when I told it to her, but um,
Well, you could always contact. Is she listening or anything?
no.
You could always contact them to send you a text that the car has been damaged and is unsellable, that you'll refund everything, and then have it show up Monday and let her sort of see the text.
Jodo, that is even too sadistic for me. However, in character, it might be for you. That's a bit too sadistic for me to get away with. No. Um, uh, I'm too old to pay for another divorce. Uh,
Oh,
All you got to worry about is a frying pan. I've got to worry about being homeless because she gets everything if anything happens to me. Ah, Lord. Ah,
But you like the idea, though, don't you?
nope. Mm-mm.
You ain't admitting to that on camera, are you?
There ain't nothing to admit to. I don't like that idea. I don't care if you give it to me with green eggs and hams. I don't like that. I can be sneaky, but I can't. Okay. I can't bring myself to be cruel unless it's in a very good cause. And this would not be a good cause. Yeah, Donna. Yeah. Um, they still haven't got my money yet. So, and I've dealt with CarMax before. They've really the gold van, we got that from CarMax. It's been almost 15 years and it's still going strong. It was in really good shape when we got it, despite me driving it all that time. It's still in good shape, except for a few cosmetic blemishes. Like when I got a hit and run a parking lot and I didn't know about it till 3 stores later. But I'm not vain enough to have that door and that other door and the back quarter panel replaced. It barely shows up and it doesn't affect how it drives. Some people. And it doesn't matter.
All right.
There's
Yeah.
a company. There's a company called Colossal Biosciences. It
Mhm.
says they're very close to bringing back the woolly mammoth from the dead.
Yeah.
I've read speculations about that where people could not decide whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. And quite frankly, I'm not educated enough to be able to second guess it.
And it's actually going to be part Indian elephant, I believe. Is that what they said?
One of them, yeah.
And what they're going to do is pretty much
They're going to Jurassic Park some bitch.
yeah,
Yeah.
and basically breed the whatever elephant they used out of it.
Okay.
They're going to put the DNA into an Indian elephant, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Which will produce a hybrid, semi-hybrid, woolly mammoth / Indian elephant. But if they keep breeding them that way, they can eventually breed out the Indian elephant because they'll keep putting the woolly mammoth DNA into it.
And they've got several male and female carcasses. Is that the best way
Yes.
to describe it?
Mhm.
That they could actually start a herd of them.
And have enough genetic diversity to be able to prevent inbreeding.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I don't know if the basic idea is a good idea, but
Carl, we're looking at a bunch of rain tomorrow.
yeah.
And where I live, I'm not worried about the rain about any flooding. John seen the place. If I got to worry about rising water, Dan,
Everybody's got to worry about rising water.
Dan, you're already underwater.
Now, Daddy's got a boat, or had a boat. I think my brother's got it now. Of course, it's fiberglass. My brother probably left it out in the sun and let it rot. How can my little brother be a genius and be so incautious at the same time? I do not know. Sometimes I think my sister is the smartest of us three. I mean, I think of stuff and it's impractical, and she go, "That is impractical." My little brother goes, "Oh, well, I'll just sit it out here under a tarp." Oh, and Donna can't wait till last man standing.
Well, she only has to wait. 8.5 more minutes.
She only has to wait until I finish trying to eat all this stuff that Lindsay made for me. You're lucky I didn't have the baked potato too. I would still be going on that bugger. Maybe old,
Ouch.
but I ain't stupid. Give me a baked potato. Yeah. Okay. Let's pack this away.
This happened 3 hours ago in San Francisco. A United Airlines flight taking off out of San Francisco lost one of its tires during takeoff.
That's going to make landing a little fun.
State Farm is already filing a claim.
Lawyers are lining up.
It was a Japan-bound plane that diverted to Los Angeles for the emergency services there.
Oh, okay.
We had a FedEx plane.
They've got a picture of it.
Oh, yeah?
We had a FedEx plane belly land out here at our airport.
Yes, we did.
Slid the length of the runway.
Forgot to drop the landing gear or equipment failure?
Equipment failure.
Okay.
Hydraulic failure.
Hydraulics, yes, that makes sense.
Let's share that there, Joe. And if you look, that's the tire that didn't make the rest of the flight.
What is that? 787?
Hang on a minute.
Have they gone that high already?
Yep.
Good Lord.
777 was pretty. You see, that was
787 is a composite craft.
Hey, if John's going, ooh, this is something.
Yes. Throw that one up, Joe.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's where the tire landed.
My car!
Can you imagine coming back from a trip? You go out to find your car in a parking lot. And I wonder if that's the only car it hit. Let me see here. It is a Boeing 777-200.
777. 200, which means it's the second generation.
Which means it got the pretty engines.
Oh, it was the front wheel.
No. It was one of the rear.
Well, the way they got the truck under it.
Yeah.
No, I think that's just the tow truck.
I think that's the service truck. So Maybe
That's
it hasn't landed yet. It's just circling until it runs out of fuel or international rescue shows up with the skateboard trucks. Um,
Somebody rents a Toyota Tacoma. You seen you remember that commercial, don't you?
yeah. Uh, have you ever seen the animated footage from the almost produced Buckaroo Banzai TV series?
No.
You should. I stole an entire scene from that, um, shamelessly. Uh, but you know, I'm a fan. Um, if I didn't steal it, some Hollywood producer would have, and not given them credit.
who think you ever see these surveys you find on internet, on Facebook, stuff like that, and they say, these states have the most this in the country, and stuff like that. I'm looking at one right now. These states have the most rabid skunks in America.
Washington D.C.
See, just out of curiosity, see if I can fast forward these things.
Oh, the Charger. Not a Dodge Charger, the iPad Charger. So I keep forgetting to turn it off.
Oh,
Oh.
we are a minute out.
Yes, I know. And I've got the room open for the next show. I've got it pulled up on the iPad in case anybody is.
Oh, number one is Texas. Texas has the most rabid skunks.
Yeah.
All
right, let's say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody. And I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, and I'll see y'all Saturday night. All right. Bye.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.
Did not get away with